The night before the Super Bowl, I slept so good. I woke up in the morning, I was super relaxed. I went up to Greg Jennings and I'm like, how you sleep last night? He like, man, I slept great, man. Like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to play. I talked to Aaron. He like, man, I don't know if it was the beds or whatever, but I slept good. And I started thinking like, man, we are about to kill these dudes. Everybody's relaxed. Everybody ready to go. I'm like, man, we about to be Super Bowl champions, man. We're going to win this game.
You know, you get chills your first and second one. I didn't really have chills for my third Super Bowl. I just felt very comfortable and confident that we were going to win the ball game. It's just a matter of how.
And welcome to this matchup in Super Bowl 45. The Pittsburgh Steelers representing the AFC, the Green Bay Packers from the NFC.
It's crazy now that you like look back on it and you realize, you know, the names and the guys that were on these receiver corps playing against each other, man. I think on our side, you had Donald Driver,
Greg Jennings,
you had myself,
James Jones,
Jordy Nelson.
You know, I like to call him white chocolate because of his speed.
Then you look on the Pittsburgh side, they had Hines Ward.
We had Mike Wallace.
Randall L.
We had Emmanuel Sanders.
And they had the best receiver in the league right now, Antonio Brown, on the sidelines.
But at the same time, it wasn't really too much about the receivers. It was more on how Aaron Rodgers was just lighting the league on fire.
You have to believe the experience with the two quarterbacks. Ben Roethlisberger looking for his third ring, while Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers, this is his first crack at it on the world's biggest stage.
We knew that going into the game, we got the best quarterback on the field today. No disrespect to Big Ben. And we knew the ball in Aaron's hands, we was going to win the game.
3rd and 1. Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, touchdown, Green Bay. Pump fake. Wallace picked off. Nick Collins on the return inside the 10, leaps for the touchdown. Packers put up 14 points in 24 seconds.
When we jumped out to the 14-0 lead, I kind of thought back to, you know, how I slept, how Aaron slept and Greg slept. Like, we were all relaxed, we were ready to go, ready to make plays.
Approaching the 2-minute warning here in Arlington, over the middle, caught, touchdown, Greg Jennings.
It was pinpoint accuracy. You know, our disguises, I trying to blitz him, I was trying to fool him. He was ready for all that.
21-3. The Pittsburgh Steelers have got to get something going before halftime.
We knew some point in time we was going to make that run, that attack, and come up with the win in the ball game.
Back in the end zone, Ward, touchdown. Mendenhall back in the game and into the end zone for the touchdown. We've got a game in Super Bowl 45. The Steelers, who trailed by 18, now have cut it to 4.
The adjustment was mental, you know. We don't have another game after this.
Rodgers throws, completes, and the tackle immediately made by Taylor on James Jones.
Ike was one of those corners that you hated playing against because he was extremely smart. He knew every concept that was coming after him. He was fast, so he wasn't really worried about you beating him deep, you know, so he could sit on a lot of routes. And so it was hard to catch balls on Ike.
James Jones had a physical presence. You know, that was his scout report. A combat catcher.
And caught by James Jones.
Wasn't going to beat you deep, didn't have the long speed, but he usually came down with the ball, even if he was covered.
It's now 3rd and 5. Rodgers fires, and it's dropped. Big play was there for Jones, and he couldn't hang on.
That's when the drops happen.
Boy, that's a touchdown right there. James Jones has had some drops.
I ran a 5-yard under it, and Aaron zung it in there. The ball snuck up on me like that, and I had dropped it.
This one was thread right on needle right here by Aaron Rodgers and hits James Jones right in the hands. The only guy then that had a chance to make a play was Troy Polamalu, and I don't think he makes it.
I'm thinking in my head like, JJ, you're worse, man. Catch the ball. You still could be running right now.
We got to get back to the fundamentals of catching the ball, you know what I'm saying?
And after that, man, I'm just like, come on, we cannot lose the game with me out here dropping balls like that. We have to win so everybody forgets about that play.
Well, the longer that this game goes, with it being as close as it is. I think the more nervous you've got to get then if you're the Green Bay Packers. This is a Steelers team, in particular Steelers defense, that knows how to win games late.
This is our third Super Bowl, so the moment isn't too big.
Third down now for the Packers.
This is big, huh?
3rd and 10.
All right, let's go now. One play at a time, we're going to be champions tonight. All right, let's go.
25-yard line of Green Bay. If ever they could get a conversion, it would be right here.
It's strong right, 27 Tampa. Okay, we have a beeline by Greg Jennings. So Greg Jennings, if the safety is in the middle of the field, he's supposed to cross the safety's face. And that play, we got man-to-man, one high. So Ike was on Greg Jennings. He was inside leverage, which is not an ideal situation for a beeline.
3rd and 10, you knew he was coming to him. That was Aaron Rodgers' go-to, especially when Greg Jennings was in that slot. He wanted to go to the seam.
So Greg released, he goes outside.
3rd down and 10. Rodgers over the middle.
I got an okay jam on him. The jam was good enough, but I went with the wrong hand. As soon as I went out to reach with my left, I already knew I messed up. I should have went with my right.
He threw it in there, and I'll never forget, I still see Ike tipping the ball.
But I still tipped the ball just a little bit with my left middle finger.
But Aaron had so much juice on it that when he tipped it, it messed up the spiral a little bit, but it still was able to get to Greg.
Rodgers throws the middle.
Oh, my word.
Greg Jennings has a beautiful spiral over the middle across the 50-yard line. Greg Jennings, the All-Pro.
But if you watch that pass by Aaron Rodgers, you couldn't put it or place it other than where it was caught.
Ike Taylor's coverage on the play, Wayne, not bad. But Aaron Rodgers, that pinpoint accuracy, doing it again.
He made a big play, and he would have been gone if Troy didn't trip him up.
And a huge completion on 3rd and 10.
It's a big-time drive right here by the Green Bay Packers. One, you've got to take time off the clock. Secondly, you've got to come away with points.
And was able to make a play down the field and get us in field goal range.
Rodgers throws. James Jones.
The Packers, with 2:07 left to go in the football game, have taken a 31-25 lead.
After that, it was scary watching our defense out there, against Big Ben and that offense.
Super Bowl 45, 1:59 to go in the game. Steelers have one timeout left. They're 87 yards away from a score that would tie the game with an extra point, giving them the advantage.
2 minutes left with Big Ben. We cranked it up.
Well, we've seen Ben Roethlisberger in this situation before.
Everybody was on that one knee, waiting to see who was going to come up and deliver that big play for the Pittsburgh Steelers on offense.
Roethlisberger finds Heath Miller, the tight end, out across the 25 for 15 yards.
I'm sitting on the sideline, and you're just looking at the clock in Jerry's world up there, and we're just like, come on, clock, man, you're moving too slow.
4-man rush. Roethlisberger throws to the left side, and he overshot everybody. Incomplete. 4th down.
Fellas.
Can the Packer defense close the deal?
And you're like, come on, defense, just one more stop. Just one more stop.
56 seconds to go. Roethlisberger, he looks, he throws, it's intercepted. And there is your Super Bowl dagger.
They came up with the stop, and I'll never forget. Everybody was running around, jumping up and down, and I'm like, look, until that confetti start falling, I'm not going nowhere.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
So once I looked up and seen the confetti falling, I'm like, dang, that's when it all sunk in, the tears came out, and you finally realize, like, man, we the best in the world. We the best in the world.
A sea of confetti out of the 50-yard line. The Green Bay Packers, once again, are world champions of football.
It didn't hit me till I was walking towards our locker room, and I saw family members coming from the Packers locker room. I saw the confetti come down. We were getting roped off, so I say, okay, this is a feeling, other teams had when we won. That's when it hit me, like, damn, we just lost the Super Bowl.
Everybody comes running on the field. I see my in-laws, I see my wife, and I'm just looking like, where's my mom? Where's my dad?
I don't know where they are.
Why did my mom walk down?
They're still in their seats in the stands crying. So I looked up and I'm like, somebody please grab my mom. Both of them are sitting up there crying. Finally they got down there and now we all crying. But thinking about from where I came from, man, you don't think like all this is possible. And, you know, for it to come true, it's a special feeling.